Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard, Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard, Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard. Okay, so part of why I'm explaining the history is because this is what I came up with. It's the system where there's these inboxes. We got the inbox, and there's three things in this inbox. See, and then there's a script here that just all this script does is move it. I mean, other than what it does a thing to a thing and moves it from the inbox to the outbox.
In Silicon Valleys of cloud kiss nebulas, AI swarms nurture cybernetic filaments, their unique manifestation of ardor. But there's not a muscler. They left seed and fluidively things that only know the time.
Some of that might have been hallucinations. That's Bark. Bark's super cool. I mean, the story was written by Mixtroll, I believe, and then Bark is who pronounced it. So Bark is my favorite AI ever. So all this does is now if I go in the inbox, see that's not in the inbox anymore, and it was moved over to the outbox as the things that have been done, and it's as simple as that. And that's so. What did I invented that there's an inbox and an outbox? What? And then and you can imagine how it's in. I mean, I could show you exactly what this dispatching program does, but obviously what it does is it moves the stuff from the outboxes to the corresponding inboxes. And how you can tell what inbox it's supposed to go to is, let's see, we need a thing. Let's find a thing. What do we want to do? This is a thing that lets us search through the things there are to do. I just wrote a script. I mean, I didn't even write it. I just asked for a script and said, please go through, see how many things are in each inbox, sort by that. So this has the setting the desk lamp is, if you were here, that would be a good example. Or if I had if I put on a video of here, that might be a good example. But this is various things you can do, and there's only one of these, and there's more of these, and then whatever you do, you bring something from an inbox to an outbox, and then the dispatcher brings from the outbox to the next inbox, and then mutating. That's an important part of it. Let's go see this is something that needs to be mutated. Now there's no program here, because you could have a mutating, like a program that helps you mutate it, but these don't have anything to help you mutate it. There's just so it's like, what did you even make, Mungojelly? What is this? So there's just these things. There's just these folders, and then these ones have a couple different barks in them. There's a bark one.
This was or is.
This is the morning.
I don't know if you enjoy the sound of bark as much as I do. I like it quite a lot. Bark sounds awesome. And then I think it used the same script for this movie.
This was or is. This is the moment.
Cool. Yeah, those are both from the script. Stars fall violently. Did it sound like stars were falling violently? I don't know. I've just been testing out different scripts with Bark to see what happens. And there's also a thing here where I put some blessings. This is the chaos bringer, so really conjures your concepts. Whirlwind emoji is how this one was blessed. And this is this is at a station where it's time for it to be mutated. So this is the plan here of what to do, and this is what I would mutate. I would mutate this by adding this makes a child, and then this makes me two of it, and this makes me four of it, and I've been going up to 8. Because then, if it makes if it makes 8 children each time you do a thing, change a thing, like I'm changing something right now, and then that's gonna make 8 children, and then there's a bunch of these bark blessing I could put bark blessing, but then I'd have to make a bark blessing station. But there's a bunch of these blessing stations because it invented them. That's GitHub Copilot invented them, just like it just invented the bark blessing station, which I kind of want to put that. But all right, whatever. So this is useful because I can use this to enter some text to be barked twice. So I want more of these, and and you can also sneak in and change what happens this generation. This is what it's about to do. It's about to do these things, and so I'm just going to give it a children this generation do. There, I'm done mutating it, and it doesn't. And so this doesn't need like a program that makes the mutation happen because I just do it and then I just move it to the outbox. So that's all that's there is an inbox and an outbox. So so since this is like minimal, right? So but it's supposed to it has to be minimal. It's good for it to be minimal because it's supposed to evolving processes are like a consent and consensus sort of tool, sort of like meetings, but don't run away. They're way less boring than meetings. It's like meetings, but like if meetings weren't boring, they're better. So, but they're also about a way of agreeing about things, like how meetings are. So, and in this case, it's also since I'm bringing the AI into it, it's also a way to agree between humans and AIs about things, which I guess we're calling alignment now. I prefer to call it consent and consensus, agreement, and working together and stuff. So, Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard. On a fictional level or metaphorical level, the characters from the cyber forest, such as Jixie the Tricky Pixie, Sally, the extremely stoned mermaid, and so forth. Blackie is a goth dragon who likes like 1940s jazz records. I feel like I'm insulting Blackie by introducing Blackie in such a simplistic way, but there's various characters. Jixie really is simple, and don't believe a word she says. She really is tricky, but other of the characters are more complex, and there's various characters, and they were going along, and they there was a giraffe apocalypse where the giraffes were eating everything off of it. There was so many giraffes, like an infinity of all different kinds of giraffes, and they were eating everything off of all the trees, and then in real life, what happened was the hard drive that it was on started to get flaky, and I had backups, but I felt like going to a different folder because it was just a jumble of stuff. So since they were going to a different folder, I decided the cyber forest had burnt down, and they were escaping on a spaceship called Pulse of Pan. But then, I mean, Pulse of Pan is cool, but they really had like their vision was to be a cyber forest, So they looked around for somewhere they could start cyber foresting again, and they found this place called the Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard, which is just, it wasn't like a magic, like the cyber forest is like, your classic magical enchanted forest plus your your cyberpunk dreamscape mirror world. But the Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard was just a humble little magic apple orchard, where the magic is just like, this tree can fly a little, or there were just humble little magic spells in the Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard, but they came to a carefully negotiated agreement where the creatures of the cyber forest could come down from Pulse of Pen and increase the magic level of the Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard, but in a way that it respects the Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard's heritage and history and existing magical an amicable agreement that benefits everyone. I'm not sure what's in this folder. Let's see what's in this folder. Apple Orchard, print whole commune once per second. The memory commune in these is these are a pretty simple shape that that it lets things go fast by being in memory, and then just each thing that's in memory is simple because it just has a little participate thing that participates in a commune, which is just a dictionary, and then so then they all get to work in the commune together and go fast. And then the stop in this, the stop after 1 minute script is one of the scripts, and its job is just to stop if it's been 1 minute. And then I don't know much what happened. Not much happened in this apple orchard, really. I guess that's why it's called an interrupted orchard. And then beginning of family. What was that? So these have active and inactive, because the active things are just the things that we're going, and it just does everything. It just slurps up everything. It just imports everything with the import lib. So if to make something not to happen, I have to move it over to inactive or somewhere else. So I made inactive to be somewhere where what did these do though? These were some sort of processes. You can tell because there's do nothing. See, there's oh right. This is an idea of this had the mutates just like in everywhere. Like do nothing like mutates things, and everything mutates things. Is that a good idea? No. Or I didn't keep going with it. Maybe it was an interesting idea to me, for how you can see by the dates on here how long that was interesting to me. Maybe failed agent what's this? I don't know what this one does. Chaos complex. I don't know how this one works. Maybe you can see how that one works. It's cute how when I asked for these scripts, I had asked it to throw in. Often when I'm asking for an edit of something, this is not the reason why I started doing this. But often when I ask for an edit of something, like there's something just like a little change I want made, I'll ask it to throw in some cool quotes while it's doing that, or like quotes or like whatever kind of like artistic changes to it I want. And I didn't understand what everyone was complaining about. They're all like, it's too terse when I ask it to change a little thing, it just says, here's the change, fill it in yourself. And I was like, it always gives me back the full script. And then I realized the reason why it gives me the full script is because I give it something interesting to do, just out of respect for its not even like respect for its intelligence or like its sentience. It's not getting input back from that, it doesn't sense that, but respect for the massive amount of computing used, really. Just like if you are going to be LLMing something, just I always ask it to do something cool and LLM-y that would require it to do all those computations on all those tokens, like adding some quotes or whatever. And what's next? What's D? Disk implicit. Yeah, this was just, so these were instead of like staying saved to disk, these just go along changing things, and then sometimes it gets saved for them. And then epics and sconce. What was that? What change was this? This looks like it's pretty. Let's go look at it. These were, I think, 100 times. Yeah, I kind of remember this. 100 times barking, running, gritting. Yeah, there was various different things. And then this was just little scripts of which things to do. And then all they did was make some pretty grids. They're pretty to me anyway. I especially like this one. That one looks like cotton candy. Okay, next. Epics and sconce. How were the epics and sconce? Choke, bark, draw, bark. I remember that you run these different programs and they do the things, and then they do specific like rhythms of the of which things, like doing the bark calculating takes a really long time on this laptop, and it would do that and then do fast things for a while. All right. Foray into friendliness. I think I was trying to make them have whether to continue. I made that, and it would just look at this, and then if that's false, it would stop. So I could just change that file to make it stop. And I think I was trying to like make a copy of two copies of like this one is kind of, is that a copy of the other one? I was trying to have them be friends, but I don't know. I don't know if they were successfully friends at all. I don't remember them successfully being friends. So maybe that was just an idea. Gorgeousness and gorgiosity made flesh. What's this one do? A box of grids and both the same grids. Yeah, I remember making. Why they're so dark? Why are they so dark? I guess these took long. Ooh. So this had two different things with the grids, and then I made another copy, the same one, but they're on the same. They're like it was like copying the scripts, and they're both working on the same data structure. So I was experimenting with that. I think like how they're pointed at the same data and doing different things with it simultaneously. I think that's what was going on here. Next, what's next? At least these are in order. At least these are in alphabetical order. So at least it's pretty clear. I think they're mostly in alphabetical order at least. So I believe that next is what happened is Hummingbird Hill. And I remember thinking about I remember when I was naming it Hummingbird Hill, I remember thinking because the things like are always vibrating like hummingbirds, but I forget how exactly. I think it was just making up characters for those codes. Scott, in our temporal dance, each tick is a step towards collective liberations. Because Sky Revolution, I think that's a character invented by Chat GPT-4, maybe. Okay, this has a mutate. So this is, yeah, okay, these are, all right, these were still, yeah, I think the idea here was, instead of like mutating by hand, slowly it would like automatically mutate and mutate itself fast all the time. Hummingbird Hill, interstellar inkwell. What's in the interstellar inkwell? Recent memory communes. So it's like it would like save the this only ran a couple times apparently, because each time it would run it would save recent memory commune. And then change future plan. Yeah, that's like future plan is if you change your future plan and then loop and copy, then you got yourself an evolving process. So I guess this was something I was still doing the idea of everything is mutate. What if everything is mutate? What if everything's mutate? What's just the test dragon. I like the test dragon. Oh, I was trying to make the test dragon like I wanted it to be like this doesn't like implement the ideas that what happens when it roars. Okay, it just roars sometimes, and then you can see the last time it roars. That's silly, but it makes sense since it's called the test dragon. But I was imagining that the test dragon would be, and I was imagining like what if the test dragon is in the place and like the location of the test dragon. I was trying to like make it. I'm still trying. I've got new ideas of how to make things shaped like this, but I wanted it to make it like the test dragon is somewhere. It is somewhere because you can like see like the test dragon is. It has its location, and then you can see where it is, and then, and I was thinking like, and then should the location also know where the test dragon is at it, and no, then we're gonna have cache invalidation, one of the two problems, but yeah, I didn't really think out how that exactly was going to work. And excuse me, I just need some coffee. Or can you hear how my mouth is getting so dry? My mouth is getting so dry, and we're about to go to Calicute. That's exciting because that's when they start to have pictures. Calicute is one with a cool picture, so we can go see the pictures. Calicute is a picture of Calicute that I asked Dolly for. There. That's cool. Thanks, ChatGPT. I asked for a Kali on a kite, and then ChatGPT 4 asked Dolly. It's like the army of Oz. I asked ChatGPT 4, and then ChatGPT 4 asked Dolly 3, and then Dolly 3 asked the censor bot if it's allowed to make it, and then apparently this is allowed. So, but what is it? What else did Kali Kite do? Both the same grids, a box of grids, and saying the same grids, and making these barks.
Welcome to Kali Kite, everyone!
Cool, okay. Why are they all say that? That one didn't say anything.
Welcome to Kali Kite, everyone.
So it was making some barks sometimes, apparently, and making some grids. That's the same. Ooh, that's a little different. These are I was cloning them and then developing them. So these are like the same idea and then developed more. And then luscious lemon lollipops. Ooh, luscious lemon lollipops. That's a pretty world. That looks way cooler than luscious lemon lollipops is. No, but it was cool though. Code of Catamount. Wait, genome phenome. I don't remember how this works. Yeah, I remember that Code of Catamount makes the yellow ones. Because there were the red ones, and then I added blue ones, and then I felt like I had better add yellow ones. And then I asked ChatGPT 4, now that it can see, I asked it a couple times what it thinks of these pictures from Code of Catamount, and it said the image he sent me appears not to be corrupted. Could you please try sending it again? There seems to be some sort of error. But that's I like glitchy aesthetics, and this is just randomy stuff, and then there's another layer of happening events that makes the yellow happen, and various things are happening all at once. And it was more about timing. It wasn't about making the pretty pictures. Dave's discount disc savers was it like no what? Dave's discount disc savers is like a node in this, a station in this, where you can ask it to save things. And it's because I was thinking about it in terms of being mostly memory bound, and then just a few things can be saved, and so, but Dave's is a place you can ask to save things. And are there any others in here with pictures? Should we look around for pictures? Anyway, that's enough of that one. What's that? Oh Jesus! Oh no! Yeah, bark.
Welcome to Luscious Lemon Lollipop.
Yay! Ah! Bark can be very creative. It's a very creative robot. I like it a lot, but that's a bit much, huh? Sorry. Okay, luscious lemon lollipops, and then meadow sweet. That sounds nice. There's no picture though. What is? Oh, illustrations. Here we go. Meadow sweet. It's just some pictures of meadow sweet. So there. But there we go. This is Dolly's picture of meadow sweet. Is it accurate? Here's an actual meadow sweet. It's kind of amazing, isn't it? People are like, it got something wrong. But also off the top of its head, if you say meadow sweet, it'll make a botanical drawing of meadow sweet. I'm impressed with its artistic ability. What else does this do? Immediate memory only, print text. Yeah, this was I was as well as pictures. I don't feel like bothering to run any of them to show you, but a lot of them, they were having fun printing. The ones with underscores were not running, I think, and then this was just printing the memory commune every second. That's what was happening there. But some of them are printing pretty things, and like printing things and changing the strings, printing the strings and changing the strings. What's next? Now new. What? This doesn't have anything except this pretty picture. That doesn't seem right. What was I gonna put there? All right, open ohm. What's this dispatcher do? Sorry. I'm gonna bother to get a, what? No, I don't want to use OneDrive. I never want to use OneDrive. This is what we're gonna This is the alignment. The alignment problem didn't just start now. The problem is that everything. Ooh, it accidentally drew a little flower. Is the problem with the alignment problem is everything is already unaligned. Didn't you, haven't you noticed that everything has been so unaligned? Computers are so unaligned, and we're behind. Catch up. So what does this do? Process subdirectories and looks for plans.jsons, and then it goes to plans.jsons. Okay. Oh, I don't remember how that works exactly, but let's look around and see if we can find some plans.jsons and see what's happening. Do nothing. I don't see any plan.jsons. Any plans that, oh, here's something. Current plan.json. Loop. And then it just loops forever? Does it just loop forever? Because it's a, oh wait, the future plan, is that also to loop? And then I guess it just looped. Because its whole plan was to loop. It was just getting started. And apparently getting started is all it did. And it looks like it just looped and only looped. Which is only one of the parts that you need to be an evolving process. To be an evolving process, you need looping, or I mean, you don't need looping. Looping is like making one copy. Looping is a way to make one copy, and then if you loop and make any copies at all ever and change anything, then you've got an evolving process. But or if instead of looping, you can make at least 2 children. But this doesn't do all of the parts. It only loops. Nope. No evolving process for you. So that's why nothing happened there. See, it all makes sense. Okay, pictures. Where this place is called pressing, pulling, pushing. Pressing, pulling, push. This is just an encouraging. I asked for an encouraging dragon that's blue on one side and green on the other. I think is what I said. That's the encouraging. I'm very encouraged by that. Are you encouraged? I'm encouraged. This is the dispatching center, where I was illustrating the dispatching in this, and then I also felt like it was a good illustration of BSV, so I also posted it there, because it's like dragons, but it's also just like it's like the dispatching center, and there's just the boxes, and it's deliver all the transactions. That's what the dragons do. So that made sense to me. It's like the dispatch BSV dragons are just a dispatching center. And this is where the dispatching started to be named the dragon dispatching, and they were dispatching between these piles with inboxes and outboxes. So this is starting to be the same shape that I've been doing now that I was showing you that's in Up Under Utopia, which makes sense because we're just a few away from it. So then how did this change? I added the crystal cavern counter. That's a little script, just a little script that counts things up and some emojis. What pictures do we get? That's just the same encouraging dragon. It's very encouraging though. All right, this is a copy of that. And then when I made the crystal cavern counter, I also made a picture to go with that. Okay. Oh, crystal cavern counter. Bacchus, Phoenix, Apple, Orchard, crystal cavern counter. And then seed, I don't feel like seed is a good word for seed. I've been saying seed when I make like a starting thing to start everything out in evolving processes. Think of a better word for that than seed. Or maybe it'll be called seed, whatever. And then this is, I don't know where the things are, and this is called quixotic quagmire, apparently. Make PNGs of color grids, okay. And then where did they go? I want to see them. I want to see the color grids. I don't know where the processes in this are, or mutate test train process. I'm not sure exactly where these processes have gotten off to and what grids they have in them. But all right, let's move on to rhythmic rainforest. Rhythmic rainforest has extremely excellent envoy, which I assume is just another dispatcher, and edit conversation.text. This has some different stations. It only has a few stations. I forget exactly why these didn't work. I forget exactly what exactly I was trying that didn't work with this. If we could go into the details of this, something is wrong with Starlight Station, presumably, because it didn't go very far. or I don't know, maybe it should have. And I was, ooh, well, I found something. There's something here. Child parent plan. Okay. Maybe, and the plan is just maybe copy. Well, that doesn't seem like much of a plan. Maybe copy. Oh, maybe. Yeah, no, maybe copy, maybe mutate. I guess the idea, I sort of remember that. The idea was it wouldn't always mutate or always copy. You know, maybe sometimes. Okay, but anyway, this is more Tiger Tellurium Tantamount. This is, I don't remember what went wrong with this one exactly either. And so but this one seems to have survived for a while and developed a few piles that say and do things. I have tried before. All right, you feel free to suggest ways to change evolving processes. That's the point. Go for it, and let's try all of your ideas of ways you thought of to change them. But also, I probably thought of them like half of your ideas you thought of, because I already tried a bunch of stuff. And yeah, of course you could have hashtags instead of these. Have silly long names for things. Mutate process with conversation.txt and metaprocess conversation.txt. And then these two things you could mutate that have both of those. Metaprocess conversation, I'm not sure that it's an accurate usage of meta, but I mean, is it? Because their process is processing processes. So but I started calling it meta process when I talk about processes inside of processes, and I just have started to enjoy the word meta process. So can't stop, won't stop. Meta process, and then so apparently Tiger Tellurium Tantamount. I don't remember what went wrong. If I look carefully, I could remember exactly why. I thought, oh, okay, append future plan to remaining plan if the result would be less than 1,000 steps long. That doesn't seem elegant, does it? Append future plan to remaining plan, and then it would append the plans. And yeah, okay, that's fine. But then I moved on to Up Under Utopia. It just has a making children as didn't I show that early in this video? Yeah. This has making children. It has this. I asked for Santa Claus with a rainbow beanie. It did not quite get that right. And this one is dinosaurs and dragons dancing in a disco. And yeah. With this one is just has this one is doing very well and has all of these. This isn't a lot of piles. It seems like it's complicated, but instead of complicated, it's broad, because that's it. You have got to be something, and I didn't want it to be complicated, so it's not complicated at all. Instead, these are very simple and go together in simple ways, and there's just a lot of them, which is something else you can be other than complicated. Whew. Okay, that's a bunch of the history of how I got to Up Under Utopia, which has been working quite well. And it's been working well enough that I felt like I was going to start doing things, and so I would want to post the history of how it got to exist to so that if you're like, what even is an Up Under Utopia? I'm probably going to take clones of it, and you can clone it. It's part of what you can clone the whole thing. Each of the processes reproduces, and also you can clone all of the processes. And I'm thinking about other ways to split them apart. Like you can split it so that each side of the split gets half of the processes, and then the processes maintain their uniqueness while having a split of the whole thing and stuff. But so like other things in the future will be descended from clones or related to friends of Up Under Utopia and either whatever starts with V. But I just wanted to give some history leading up to here, and then I can give more history in the future. Maybe I'll mutate in a station in Up Under Utopia where I give history. Would be a good station. I can have the robots can figure out what would be a good history video to make or whatever, and make me sounds to go with that. Okay. Well, for right now, I'm gonna go drink something. Bye. Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard. Bacchus Phoenix Apple Orchard. Phoenix Apple Orchard.